WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm Billy Booch. I've got a few guys to introduce you to. First off, he is the studly man, Ashley. Ashley, how you doing tonight?
Bong.
And that's all.
Yeah. Well, that's all you'll hear from me until the very end. Whoa!
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, which can be heard every Wednesday night on blogtalkradio.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. It's the illuminous one, the shining star, Rick Star. Rick, how are you shining tonight?
I'm shining pretty good, but you mispronounced my name, and it's now Rick's Star. No, I'm sorry, that's Fandango.
Trademark. Oh, sorry, that's later.
And the man from South Park, simply known as Cartman, is here. Cartman, how you doing tonight?
Damn it, kill!
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen,
Did he get purchased by THQ, by the way? I don't know.
Oh, you got purchased by THQ is probably for a low amount of money. Anyway, we're here to talk about Monday Night Raw. In fact, old school Monday Night Raw for the week of March 1st, 2013. Now, guys, I was indisposed for about the first 30 minutes of Monday Night Raw this week, so you know what? I'm actually going to throw it over to the studly man, Ashley, for the opening of this week's old school Monday Night Raw.
Undertaker gongs go off, and we're like, we're opening with this, and yeah, Undertaker just turns up. Pyro's going off and everything like he normally does. Raises up his arms while he's on the stage. Then the WrestleMania 29 logo comes up. So, despite the fact they're only going to give him a 4 or 5 week build, he is going to be wrestling at WrestleMania against someone to be determined. Then we actually get underway, and CM Punk's music hits, and he and Heyman make their way down to the ring, and he says, you know what, I should be main eventing WrestleMania. I should be defending my WWE Championship, but I blame the WWE Universe for it, and you all screwed me. And, you know, there's no purpose for him now to wrestle at WrestleMania because he can't go for his title, he can't be in the main event. But what the world just saw gave him a purpose. And he basically says he's going to take on The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And that he feels that his 430-day streak as WWE champion is worth more than a 20-0 from Undertaker. And that 20-1 is coming. And that one will be drug-free, alcohol-free, and straight edge. Then Randy Orton turns up and says, you know, I was kind of like you, young, brash. I don't think CM Punk's young, but says, 8 years ago, I took him on. And you know what? I was pretty damn close to getting him. But he came out on top. Now I'm more experienced. I know what he's like. I think I've got a chance to take him again. Then Big Show's music hit, and he basically says, what, with my WMD and my power, no disrespect to you guys, but it's going to take a lot to take down a giant. And he does reference that he wrestled him before, except he doesn't reference Lord Fatass. Or what we calling him? One half of sushi roll. I don't know. Then Sheamus comes up on the stage and basically says, you know what? I've never faced Undertaker. All you guys have faced him, either at Mania or on other pay-per-view events. I've never had a one-on-one match with him. So you know what? With the luck of the Irish and the fact that he doesn't know my moves, I think with a level playing field, I've got a better chance. Then Vicky comes out and basically says, right, we're going to have a fatal four-way between all 4 of you guys, and whoever wins takes on Undertaker at WrestleMania 29. Crowd goes absolutely crazy. Billy goes even more resentful about why didn't this happen 2 weeks ago, when this week you had a hell of a match between Punk and Cena, and this one had The Undertaker coming back.
Yeah, thank you for bringing up that sore spot. Your score for the opening of Raw?
5 out of 5. It did everything. It was had the Undertaker come back, which was kind of not surprising, but I'm surprised they did it right at the start. But then the Punk promo, you could tell the passion was there, and it did come up later on. So yeah, that was very, very interesting.
Rick, in this week's opening matchup for Monday Night Raw, we saw Ryback taking on Antonio Cesaro, and we almost could have seen a use for Ryback at WrestleMania, in a sense, from what I've heard. Talk about this match, and talk about what we saw after the match was over.
Well, of course we see Antonio Cesaro and Ryback. Again, we've seen these two fight. I think what's this, like, 4th or 5th time at least between SmackDown, Raw, and I call it the lame event. It's called the main event, but I call it the lame event. For those of who actually, no offense.
None
but of
taken.
course, yeah. I will say for this match that Cesaro actually did put up a really good fight. He almost got the neutralizer on Ryback. Of course, Ryback did counter it into the shell shock and got the win. But of course, right as Ryback was leaving, we saw Mark Henry come out, and there was a long stare down, and that's when you thought that maybe something was going to happen and maybe a feud was going to evolve. And they just had a long stare down, but nothing really happened. He just walked right out and went to his match, which we've never really seen that happen before. So the match itself, like I said, despite seeing this match happen over and over again, to me really had no entertainment value. I would give it a 3, but I'm sorry, I can only give it a 2.5 out of 5, only because I've seen it happen, that match, so many times. It's just enough is enough for me.
Well, Cartman, Mark Henry walked out to the match to take on the reigning internet champion, the king of the woo woo woo. I'm talking about the one, the only Zack Ryder. Cartman, what happened in this match?
The match was a total of about 30 seconds. Obviously, Henry picked up the win. My score, 0 out of 5.
Nah, it gets a 5 out of 5, because then you can do the joke. How many Zack Ryders does it take to inspect a light the arena? Just one.
Oh, God. Well, the third match of the night was Dolph Ziggler already in the ring. He had Biggie Langston and AJ Lee with them. But the Miz was his opponent, but Miz wanted to kind of even up the odds. And, of course, with it being old school Raw, who no better to help back up the Miz than the one, the only 4-time getting his ass kicked by his wife, 16-time World Heavyweight Champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. This one's a very good match, nowhere near as good as the match they had months ago. I believe it was during in November. I believe they had a match on main event, or as Rick Star you heard him call, the lame event. But this was still a very decent match for Monday Night Raw. Miz picks up the win with the figure for a leg lock, making Dolph Ziggler tap out. Interesting to note, thing on the outside, Nature Boy Ric Flair was trying to interject himself and tag Biggie Langston, and well, that really just didn't really pan out to Nature Boy's liking, but it was still in the Miz's favor, as the Miz does pick up the win with a much better figure for a leg lock than what we've normally seen in the past from the Miz. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go 4 out of 5. Now, Ashley, I give the honors to you for this next epic promo we saw. We had a point counterpoint between John Cena and The Rock. What did we see in this promo?
Yeah, well, first we saw The Rock come out and do his usual, finally Rock's come back to Buffalo intro. It seemed a little strange because we did have references to Harlem Shake and Honey Boo Boo for some reason.
My head still hurts from that.
Two things that should never go together.
Never.
Although if we saw the YouTube video, we'd instantly dislike it.
I think with Honey Boo Boo, I think we're more interested to see. I think the thing that would qualify more for her would probably be a spaghetti shake or something like that. I don't know. I'm just rambling here.
Then he talks about how it's 34 days to WrestleMania. And then all of a sudden, John Cena comes out. He says, hang on, I'm sorry to have interrupted, but this is what I've been waiting for over a year. because I promised to all my fans that I was going to beat you last year at WrestleMania, and I failed on that promise. And I've never really recovered from it, because you saw the losing streak that I was on. Yeah, apart from the time you beat Brock Lesnar for no apparent reason. Other than that. Anyway, sorry, that's personal interjection. But he then says, now is the chance for me to get retribution. At WrestleMania, it's going to be my time to shine. And my chance to get one up on you. Rock then obviously goes, no. At least I can see the passion in your eyes. This is what I've been looking for you all the time. It's not just about trying to beat the person, it's that you're passionate about beating the person. But with the greatest of respect, I'm more passionate than you. I hate to say that, Rock, but you're not going to be in the WWE ring for another 3 weeks. But anyway, then Cena comes out with a quote from Mike Tyson, saying, "If you want to call yourself the greatest fighter in the world, you have to take on everybody else that's living." And he says he's beaten everyone apart from The Rock. In brackets, he hasn't beaten the Shield yet. And then Rock comes up with a quote of his own saying, he's like, "It's not where your heart is, it's what's inside your heart." That's from Lance Armstrong, and he's as full of shit as you are, Cena. Oh! I don't think it's shit, I think it's crap.
Yeah, it was crap.
He's tried to say PG for the kids in it. But then it's obviously Cena comes up and says, no matter what, it's all about retribution. And I think that I'll be WWE champion by April 7th. And Rock goes, "You think? I know I can beat your ass." And that's all it is. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. And he didn't do it in a shouty way. He did it Jake the Snake Roberts way. That's the way I'm describing it. He did it just whisperingly to leave even more impact. And yes, there's negatives about both. Their side saying, "Oh, I've never beaten anybody. I've beaten everybody." I'm pretty sure you haven't beat. Did you beat Braden Walker? Just say it. And Rock saying, "My passion is here every time I come out." Well, glad to see that'll be coming when you're next turning up in 15 days' time, and not on the next 2 episodes of Monday Night Raw. But the promo did what it had to do, hype up for WrestleMania, and I have to give it a 4.5 out of 5. It wasn't perfect, probably just because of Honey Boo Boo and Harlem Shake. Harlem Shake wouldn't have minded. Honey Boo Boo instantly loses half and put half a mark. So yeah, 4.5.
I think Cartman was floored by your description of the Rock John Cena promo, Ash. I have no idea what that was about. But guys and gals, up next, it was a little over a month ago when I actually had the honor of interviewing WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan right here on WGS-TV. The interview is still up for you guys to see, and he was up next on Monday Night Raw, scheduled to take on Jack Swagger. But Rick, things really didn't pan out the way that we wanted to see. What happened?
Well, he was accompanied, of course, by 2 other great Americans, and that's, of course, by the great American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and and he was also by Sergeant Slaughter. We love to see, we always love to see these legends come to the ring, but of course we knew that Jack Swagger pretty much dominated the match for the most part, and it was just it came out to a no contest match. He locked in the Patriot Lock on Hacksaw, and the ref had to force him off Swagger, and the Zeb took on him. Probably, he just looked on the whole thing. He enjoyed it, and I think the ref couldn't, just through the whole match out. So
Yeah. We also need to make mention of the fact that Jack Swagger took Hacksaw's 2x4 and assaulted all 3 legends with them.
yes, yep. I was getting to that as well. So, but I think this showed that he's being more and more of a heel, heading towards WrestleMania. But if you notice so far, he's not laid one hand, of course, on Alberto Del Rio, which I find kind of interesting. An interesting segment, not too bad. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Now, during the break on WWE Active, the next guest was the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and he was approached by the primetime players saying, quote, we're worth millions and millions of dollars, that you should be our managers because you're the $1 Million Man. Ted DiBiase says, if you win your match tonight against Team Hell No, I'll take it into consideration. Cartman, what happened with Team Hell No taking on the primetime players yet again?
Primetime players lost.
Pretty much, yeah, in a nutshell.
Yeah, and then Ted DiBiase took $100 and shoved it down Darren Young's throat. And then, as they were all going back to the locker room, Daniel Bryan, of course, went and took the money out of Darren Young's throat and put it in his trunks, which is kind of weird, for sure.
Well, did his trunk have a goat face on them?
Well, how would you score the tag match, Cartman?
I'd say probably a 3.5 out of 5.
Cartman, just to let you know, if I saw somebody if I saw a C note, I would definitely grab that C note and put it down my trunk. So,
of course you would, Rick. Of course you would.
It's all about the money.
And it's free money too.
It's all about that YouTube money.
Well, the next scheduled matchup, it was Brodus Clay and Tensai, and for the life of me, why? Taking on 3MB, but of course, the next legend to make his appearance, the Honky Tonk Man. Ladies and gentlemen, the next swearing and cursing statement about the Honky Tonk Man has been brought to you by the Studley Man, Ashley. Ashley?
When you make a reference to Jerry Lawler's heart attack being fake, and I can't remember whether he's his cousin or something. No wonder he was showing complete disrespect on the show. He deserved it for everything he said. Because he's just a goddamn ass. He's right up there with New Jack.
I would have called him Dick, but, ass, I guess, works.
I could say lots of things that probably would not be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the preceding statement of the Honky Tonk Man was brought to you by the Studley Man, actually, and does reflect the views of everyone here at WGS-TV. The tag match consisted of this, ladies and gentlemen. Tensai rolled.
Note though, he was saying it was going to be foul mouth. I wasn't.
I was though, and that was brought to you by Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Plug.
The tag match consisted of this, guys. Tensai rolling up Drew McIntyre and getting the 3 count.
In 30 seconds.
I've seen Divas matches go on longer than that. 2 out of
respect. The Mark Henry match went on longer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, they did that just so they get Honky Tonk off the stage.
I think the only bright point about this was seeing the Funkadactyls dancing. That's the only thing that I really thought was entertaining.
Exactly.
2.5 out of 5 from me. And now next up, we were supposed to get the. Go ahead.
Heath and the guitar. Heath got the guitar from Honky Tonk. That was the only thing Honky Tonk did.
And that's the only thing. Yeah, and that's the only thing he should have done. That's probably, as far as I'm concerned.
Jerry Lawler said something. I can't remember what it was, but it was a kind of slight jibe, probably, for all the comments that Honky made. Considering they're supposed to be relatives. Hang on. Which one of them appeared in a Hollywood movie with Jim Carrey? Oh wait, not Honky.
No, not Cousin Honky. It was Cousin Gang. Well, speaking of somebody who was supposed to make their debut, it was Kofi Kingston set to take on Don. Go. But it just didn't pan out again. Ash, what happened?
Apparently Fandango trademark wasn't pronounced properly. It was like it was Fandango trademark. Trademark. and then it was Fawn, Dawn, Sparta. No, and basically that's it. It's a waste of TV time if ever I saw one. You know what we need every time he comes out now? Johnny Curtis. Johnny Curtis. Hey, if it's good enough for Goldberg, if it's good enough for Gold Ryback and Albert Tensai, it's good enough for Johnny Curtis Fandango trademark.
I even threw this out on.
If you weren't happy with the trademarks, other ticket of sites are available.
And I know I said this on Twitter during Monday Night Raw, which is twitter.com/WrestleGamer, by the way. Fandango needs to Fandango away. That's all I'm going to say. Rick, I'm going to throw it to you next to talk about probably one of the best promos I have ever seen with the game, Triple H. What happened?
Well, Triple H came out and, of course, he talked about the fight he had with Brock Lesnar the week before. And he said, I don't want to talk, because the reason why I'm not going to have this fight, it's not about, let's forget about Vince McMahon, who brought everybody with the reason why we're here, who started the WWE, who just had hip surgery. Yeah, right. If he had hip surgery, well, then I'm Santa Claus. He said, let's forget the fact that, his daughter, my wife, the mother of my kids was sitting there crying. Let's forget that my kids, his grandparents, his grandchildren was sitting there crying. I was smiling on the inside because I knew I was going to be able to get you one more time. He goes, Brock, you usually are the one who comes out here and that creates all the chaos and the damage. Well, I was the one who came out here, and I was the one who destroyed you. Because now you gonna come out here, I'm calling you out. Are you gonna do something there, or are you just gonna sit there and bleed? So obviously setting a match. That's something that Triple H does do very great.
Oh yes.
I will say that we've talked about in the past about a couple of shows and a few other shows that I do think that Triple H does have one thing very good in his promos. We talked about where Bret Hart had said that he doesn't do anything really innovative, and I can admit he does. He is innovative when it comes to his promos. I think when it comes to his in-ring skills, he's a great in-ring wrestler. But I think that's the only one thing that his innovation needs a falter sometimes. But I can never deny his skills. I mean, his mic skill. Not once. He can always cut some of the best promos. They're always memorable. Definitely for that segment, I give it a 4 out of 5. Easy.
Definitely. In fact, I have to go one up on that and go 4.5 out of 5. Because basically, when I looked at it and I didn't see Triple H COO. I saw Triple H, the game, the king of kings in that promo, and I really thought Triple H brought his A game in that promo and just made it that much better. Now, what we really need to see is how they have Lesnar with Paul Heyman, because if they have Lesnar by himself in this angle, this build-up for their matchup at WrestleMania, it's gonna suck. Honestly, exactly. it's gonna suck. They need Paul Heyman involved in that storyline to talk for Brock Lesnar, because Lesnar cannot talk for shit. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but it's my honest opinion. Brock Lesnar, yes, he has the look, but he cannot talk worth a damn for a promo. So, WWE, if by some chance you are listening to this review and on my channel, or by some idiotic chance somebody from the WWE is watching this, listen very closely. Have Paul Heyman involved in the build-up. Lesnar cannot talk.
Well, I think he already is. I think we've made it clear that that's how this all started out. Ash, what do you think?
Heyman will be involved somehow, because obviously it's going to be more of a focus. It's going to be more of a focus between Undertaker and somebody. Hint, that might be a spoiler. Well, mild spoiler, because people probably saw it coming a few weeks back. But yeah, Heyman, You don't even actually. You could do this like the very first time we had the Undertaker Triple H promo from WrestleMania 27. They don't need to say anything. Just beat the crap out of each other every time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're proud here at WGS-TV to introduce a new segment here on the Monday Night Raw review. It is the official Studley Man Ashley Alberto counter. Ashley, what did we clock in on this week's Alberto?
This week's O was 7 seconds long. And that was brought to you by 5 Hour Energy.
Well,
yeah, the Nightmare Gear sponsor from 5 Hour Energy, now that you mentioned them in your video.
Oh, come on. They sponsor TNA. They're desperate.
well, Cartman, up next we had champion versus champion, as we had the Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett, the supposed star of Dead Man Down, taking on the World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio, with apparently we had some guests in this match. Cartman, what happened?
It was actually a pretty good match, in my opinion. Yeah, I ended up finishing up when Del Rio locked on the crossarm breaker on Barrett, and Barrett ended up tapping out. So yeah, that's pretty much how the match ended. Overall, I'd probably say a 4.5 out of 5. Really good match overall.
Also had Jack Swagger on the outside with Zeb Coulter. Ashley, you know what? You made the reference here on Skype during the match. I'm going to let you have the honor of making that statement. You wanted to ask something about Zeb Coulter's beard?
Well, Jack Swagger's hair was hanging over his eyes, so I thought he was disguising weed in that. And then Zeb Coulter's beard. How many kilos or grams of weed do you think is in that? I've actually found an old picture of Google Mark Twain, people. Look at the picture. That's Zeb Coulter. Time machines are working, people. And his name is Dutch Mantel. Actually, somebody just sent me a tweet. This is kind of relevant to the Fandango trademark. Somebody got a text apparently that said Fandango trademark. And then Glitter shut out the micro USB port. That's brilliant.
Well,
Birthday.
well, next up on Monday Night Raw was a tag team match which featured Epico and Primo with Rosa Mendez, of course, always lovely to see, taking on what a lot of people consider to be one of the most highly entertaining tag teams ever from the Attitude Era, from D-Generation X, 5-time WWE Tag Team Champions, the Road Dogg Jesse James, and the badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws. It was a real treat to see, and I will say this, you know, they looked in really great shape. So did Billy Gunn. These guys look like they haven't missed a step, you know. It was quite obvious, you know, the Outlaws were going to get put over on Epico and Primo, but the fact of the matter is this: Rosa Mendez, when you see somebody about to do a springboard maneuver on the outside, stay the hell away from them. Rosa Mendez nearly got her face kicked off by Primo in a springboard maneuver. Other than that, the New Age Outlaws, it was great to see them, and like I said, they looked in fantastic shape. You know, like I said, they looked like something straight out of the Attitude Era, and they just got shot right to 2013. I thought it was still, you know, a really great treat to see them. 4 out of 5, which now leads us to the main event. Well, wait a minute. We had somebody's birthday.
Breaking news, apparently. Vicky Guerrero had Oh, no. We had Vicky Guerrero back zits, apparently, tonight. That is breaking news.
Back zits?
Yeah. She had spots on her back.
The hell?
I thought that was Brad Maddox.
No. And also, apparently, mass text got sent out from WWE saying, I have risen. I didn't know Val Venus was supposed to be on tonight.
But tonight was somebody's birthday, a very special birthday on Monday Night Raw tonight, Ashley.
Yes, Mae Young is 90. And they were going to sing happy birthday for her. All of them, including the people you never see on wrestling anymore. Like Michael McGillicuddy. No, you do see Michael McGillicuddy on NXT quite a lot. Alex Riley. What the hell happened to him? The last time we saw him, he got attacked by Big Show. And then disappeared.
And when you get run over by the Big Show, you disappear into nothingness.
Wow.
Yeah, good point.
The interesting thing is, right in the middle of Happy Birthday, just to the point where it's like, we're going to have to pay royalties on this. Cue CM Punk's music. They prefer to pay royalties on Cult of Personality. then happy birthday.
Anyone notice it was odd that the one person that approached Mae Young when that thing was happening was Mark Henry?
He just wanted a piece of cake.
I think he wanted a piece of pie.
The primetime players were there like, we wanted the cake, bastard Punk ruined it. No.
Isn't it weird that I just grossed myself out?
Yes.
That was the
But-
only thing the primetime players are going to win this year. Cake.
Cake and white towels. I don't even know what that
That's
means.
racist. That's racist.
I don't even know what that means, and I said it, and I regret saying it.
So as long as you didn't, just as long as you weren't David Hasselhoff and you said jump in my car.
Oh. Anyway, on to the Fatal 4-Way main event, which the winner would get a shot at facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Rick, I got my first question to you about this main event. Even though it was blatantly obvious they were going to go the route with CM Punk, which they did. CM Punk gets the win, hitting the GTS on Randy Orton and getting the victory. Even though it was like blatantly obvious that they were going to go this way, honestly, I thought the main event played out very, very well. What did you think?
Yeah, I still thought it was a high quality match. No doubt. There was still, we thought that the Shield was going to be, be involved, and they didn't. Surprisingly, they did not, interfere. So it was a good, clean match, entertaining all around. During the show, we talked about we would like to see a swerve. We would like to see somebody aside from Punk. That, hey, who would we personally like to see? Aside from CM Punk, if we had our choice, and we even talked about the possibility of Sheamus, because we think that, although we think that CM Punk has definitely earned that spot, we think that Sheamus is somebody who we think that, could have that feather in the cap, that could get to that next level in his career, that could say, hey, I'm the guy who defeated The Undertaker. And, like we said, said earlier in the segment, he never had that spot. He never had that moment with The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And I think, it really would help out his career. So, but yeah, excellent match. I'd definitely say it was definitely a 5-star match.
All right. Overall score on Monday Night Raw this week, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. For the things I saw, starting with The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, I thought it was a great match. The Rock and John Cena, again, a very intense, very epic promo. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jack Swagger with that whole thing. Why use your legends to in that manner? But I would rather suspect they were trying to do that to bring more heat on Swagger and Coulter and possibly some more weed. Fuck you, Glenn Beck. Team Hemwell defeating the Primetime Players. I thought it was a great thing. It was great to see the classic $1 Million Man taking the C note and stuffing it down somebody's throat, and of course Daniel Bryan getting a free C note out of that. Brodus Clay and Tensai defeating 3MB, courtesy of Tensai just rolling up Drew McIntyre. How far has A, Brodus Clay and Tensai fallen, and B, 3MB, in fact, especially Drew McIntyre? Screw you to Honky Tonk Man. I don't care who anyone else says about that. I said it on my Twitter, and I'll say it again. Fandango can Fandango away. The Triple H segment, probably one of the best segments of the night on Monday Night Raw. Again, like I said, it was the King of Kings. It was the game. It was the former 10-time WWE champion, Triple H, in that segment. Not the COO Triple H, but the game Triple H in that segment. That's what I loved about that segment. Alberto Del Rio defeating Wade Barrett. Very interesting match. Great to see the New Age Outlaws. Like I said before, they looked in fantastic shape. And CM Punk defeating Big Show, Sheamus, and Randy Orton in the Fatal 4-Way. And, of course, with the stare down at the end between CM Punk and The Undertaker, even though it was kind of obvious they were going to go that route, they still executed it in a very, very good fashion, in my opinion. So, overall, Monday Night Raw gets a 4 out of 5 from me. Ashley, let's start with you. Your overall score and thoughts on Monday Night Raw.
4 out of 5 for me. If considering how kind of lackluster the build was to quite a lot of the matches for last year's Mania, they've really stepped their game up this time, which is good to see, because the fact that Rock Cena's got me interested, despite the fact, yes, we're seeing it again. Rio Swagger's got me interested just because I want to know if he's going to take drugs in the ring actually at Mania. And mainly because I want Dolph Ziggler to win something for a change rather than keep jobbing to people. Why WWE? Anyway, Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, because I just want somebody to put a poster up saying "Here comes the staples." By the way,
I can make that.
By the way, other stationery providers are available.
Sticky note.
I'm good at I'm good at this covering our ass for publicity, aren't I? Undertaker versus CM Punk doesn't really need build-up. It's going to be epic as it is, because if they've been working on it for the last couple of months, hell yes. Clearly, Team Hell No is probably going to be doing something. What that is, I don't know. And I think I can't remember if any other matches have been set for WrestleMania. I don't think so. It's already looking pretty good, and we've still got another 4 and a bit weeks to go.
Exactly.
Well, let's go to the Shining Star, Rick Star. Trademark. Rick, your overall score and thoughts on Monday Night Raw.
There was some dry spots in the, but it was good to see a lot of the legends. I hate to say it as much as he was kind of a douche. It was even good to see even the Honky Tonk Man for a spell. It was good to see him go too.
Yeah.
$1 Million Man was great to see. Of course, it's always good to see Hacksaw. American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Sergeant Slaughter. It was good to see all of them. Mae Young. So it was good to see all the legends come out. Gene Okerlund. The Rock. The Rock Cena feud. I am kind of looking forward to it, only because I'm looking to see The Rock go.
Exactly.
The Undertaker Punk match could be a good match. So it looks like the WrestleMania could be shaping up to be a decent, could be a decent match. I wish they would work on some more feuds, but hopefully that'll happen in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see. Overall, I have to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Well, let's go to Cartman. Cartman, your overall score and thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week.
I'd probably have to say the same thing as you guys, 4 out of 5, for basically the same reasons. And that's just why I mentioned I saw it up on the WWE YouTube channel at the time that we're recording this. After Raw went off the air, Big Show got attacked by the Shield.
What?
Yeah, Big Show got attacked by the Shield.
Wow.
After Raw went off the air.
So I'm wondering if we could see the Big Show becoming a face by WrestleMania.
Oh my God, WWE has a purpose.
So would that be Sheamus, Randy Orton, and Big Show taking on Shield?
That's the idea.
And Big White Man versus Big Black Man. It's the battle of slavery.
Oh God. So as Sunday Man Goat becomes the racist man, we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Old School Raw this week. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Guys, Rick Star is over on Hardcore Wrestling Radio every Wednesday night on blogtalkradio.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Rick, what you got coming up this week?
Well, this week we are hitting a small milestone. We are hitting episode 20. Of course, we will be talking about Lockdown, which is coming this Sunday for TNA's Lockdown.
Oh, crap, I forgot it is. That's
right. So we'll be doing our predictions. We'll also be talking about all the latest news and rumors, so be sure to catch us Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central.
Jeff Jarrett, the head of Aces and Eights. Cartman is over on youtube.com/KillerEggsKenny. Cartman, what you got going on in your neck of the woods?
Basically, soon's gonna be just basically, as of right now, it's basically just gonna be like Call of Duty, Minecraft, and zombies.
Ashley, you got any upcoming projects you'd like to announce here on WGS-TV?
Yeah, I might be filming a promo for this show eventually. The one that I promised about 5 years ago to Billy. You never know, it might come along when you least expect it. I've got an idea when.
Also, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So, for the Studley Man Ashley, the Shining Star Rick Star, and the man from South Park, simply known as Cartman, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.
Now confirmed for WrestleMania 30. Fandango, trademark, versus Helen Keller.
Oh!
And if you ain't down with that, I've got a hashtag for you. We the people.
Where are you? Help me.
Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Spiritual speaking. Stoke answers. Stoke answers. I'm Haley Ringrose. Stoke answers.
My name's Andrew Weatherall.
Spiritual speaking. Stoke answers.